The Nikon Z7 III has quickly become one of the most talked about potential releases in Nikon's mirrorless lineup, existing in that tricky space between anticipation and skepticism. It occupies a FOMO zone, just believable enough to keep photographers waiting, yet just mysterious enough to feel like a unicorn. For enthusiasts who obsessively track leaks, patents, forum discussions, and industry whispers, the Z7 III represents both possibility and intrigue. Everyone wants to know what it could be, where it would fit, and whether it could truly take the crown as Nikon's next high-resolution powerhouse. To understand why the Z7 III has resurfaced in conversation, it helps to look at Nikon's broader lineup. Almost every camera in Nikon's full-frame mirrorless ecosystem has recently seen updates. Models like the Z52, Z63, ZF, and even the flagship Z8 and Z9 continue to evolve with new features, processors, and autofocus systems. The Z7 II, on the other hand, has remained largely static. While still capable and respected for its image quality, it feels increasingly dated when compared to Nikon's modern mirrorless bodies. Autofocus speed, overall responsiveness, and feature sets are no longer competitive with Nikon's latest offerings. Photographers who love the Z7 II's image files often admit that pairing it with a ZF or Z8 exposes its limitations. The most widely discussed rumor about the Z7 III is straightforward and practical. Nikon could take the brains of the Z8 and drop them into a lighter, more compact body, similar in size to the Z7 II or Z63. This approach would provide photographers with modern autofocus algorithms, faster processing, and improved responsiveness without forcing them to adopt the full weight or cost of a Z8. It would be a high-resolution camera that doesn't compromise on usability, giving photographers a modern tool in a familiar form factor. The sensor choice is the point of greatest debate among enthusiasts. Two main theories have emerged. The first envisions a 60-megapixel non-stack sensor, similar to what is used in some high-resolution Leica and Sony cameras. This configuration prioritizes image quality, dynamic range, and base ISO performance, rather than speed or advanced video capabilities. Non-stack sensors generally have slower readout speeds, which can increase rolling shutter, but Nikon already has hybrid and video-focused bodies in its lineup. A 60-megapixel stills-focused camera could fill a niche for photographers who prioritize detail and dynamic range over extreme speed or high-end video functionality. The second theory is more ambitious, a 50-megapixel stack sensor similar to Sony's A1. Coupled with Z9 class processing, this configuration could produce a high-resolution camera that is both incredibly fast and highly capable, bridging the gap between stills and hybrid shooting. However, this approach risks overlapping with the Z8 and would likely result in a higher price point, making it less accessible for mid-range photographers. While exciting on paper, it would also create strategic and financial challenges for Nikon. A more realistic scenario combines practicality with minimal development cost. Nikon could repurpose the Z63 body, which already features a 5.76 million EVF and 5-axis in-body stabilization, install a 60-megapixel non-stack sensor, and add the latest autofocus and processing improvements. Video features would remain modest but functional, keeping the camera firmly focused on still photography. Pricing could land around $2,800, hitting a sweet spot in Nikon's current lineup. While some might find the articulating screen less exciting, retaining it avoids a complete body redesign, ensuring the Z7 III remains compact, familiar, and user-friendly. Examining Nikon's pricing structure reveals why the Z7 III suddenly feels realistic. Following recent price reductions, the Z63 now sits around $2,999, while the Z8 remains above $3,500. This creates a noticeable gap in the $2,300 to $3,000 range, leaving an opportunity for a high-resolution camera that sits neatly between mid-range and flagship models. Neither Canon nor Sony has this issue. Canon's mirrorless lineup features smooth incremental steps from entry-level to professional, while Sony offers multiple high-resolution options in the $2,000 to $3,000 range. Nikon, in contrast, has a sharp price jump, creating a hole that a Z7 III could perfectly fill. Strategically, a Z7 III would serve a distinct purpose. It could offer higher resolution than the Z63 or ZF, superior image precision, and modernized performance while remaining clearly below the Z8 in speed, stacked sensor capabilities, and advanced video functions. Essentially, the Z7 III could become Nikon's answer to Sony's A7R series, a stills-first camera optimized for image quality, dynamic range, and detail rather than speed or 8K filmmaking. A $2,800 price point would likely appeal to photographers comparing Sony and Canon alternatives, giving them a compelling reason to remain within the Nikon ecosystem. Nikon's priorities over the past few years shed light on the Z7 III's potential position. The company has rebuilt its lineup methodically, professional flagship bodies first, then mid-range cameras, entry-level models, and finally hybrid or video-centric options. Lower-priced full-frame cameras and APS-C models have sold well in volume but often come with slimmer profit margins. Nikon's core profit and brand prestige come from high-end bodies and premium lenses. In this context, a high-resolution stills-focused camera is not a priority. 60-megapixel sensors produced in limited quantities are expensive, which either pushes pricing near Z8 territory or risks making the camera financially unviable. Despite these challenges, patents and industry whispers hint that Nikon is pushing aggressively into stacked sensor technology, hybrid global/rolling shutter designs, and faster readouts. These innovations suggest that Nikon's long-term focus is on next-generation flagship bodies, rather than niche high-resolution cameras. Yet demand for a smaller, high-resolution, travel-friendly full-frame body remains strong. Many photographers love the Z7 II but do not want a Z8, they want something lighter, manageable, and more deliberate, with the essence of a D810 or D850 but paired with modern autofocus and processing. The question of whether Nikon sees this as a worthwhile niche or a financial detour remains unresolved. Among enthusiasts, debate about the Z7 III is almost philosophical. One camp believes the Z7 line is dead, claiming Nikon representatives have suggested no Z7 III will arrive and that the Z8 already occupies that segment. They argue that waiting for a hypothetical camera is pointless, photographers should work with what they already have. In contrast, another camp remains loyal to the Z7 II, valuing its color science, ergonomics, and dynamic range but recognizing it is falling behind. This group wants a spiritual successor to the D810/D850, a high-megapixel, high-DR, compact body with excellent autofocus. They would accept less advanced video capabilities in exchange for top-tier still image performance. This debate intersects with broader discussions about what truly matters in photography. Some argue that megapixels and sharpness are overrated, with differences barely perceptible in print or online. Others contend that resolution, dynamic range, and tonal depth fundamentally change the creative possibilities, particularly for large-scale prints or demanding editing workflows. Meanwhile, practical considerations, such as the performance of existing telephoto zooms, sometimes outweigh sensor debates. Despite varied opinions, one point is clear: there is undeniable demand for a Z7 III style camera. For photographers and enthusiasts, the Z7 III remains one of the most intriguing potential Nikon releases. Whether Nikon plays it safe with incremental improvements or aims to shake up the high-resolution segment, the Z7 III highlights broader questions about technology, strategy, and user priorities in the mirrorless market. Its existence would reaffirm Nikon's commitment to photographers who value image quality above speed and hybrid functionality, offering a thoughtful, deliberate tool for those who demand the best from a stills-first full-frame camera.